What are maybe some of the most common excuses you hear, and how do you combat that with someone that is trying to make a change?
Oh yeah, the excuses are there. We all have them, and sometimes more than others. Time, I think in the population of women that I work with specifically is time is tight. Like I always say, you women are busy ladies. Like you've got career and often you've got high responsibility in your career, compared to when maybe you were in your late 20s or early 30s. All of a sudden you moved up the ladder a bit. So it's not just like I'm out the door at 4 o'clock and I can come back tomorrow at 8. You've got more responsibilities on your plate at work. Often women in my program have children, whether it's young children. Usually it's a little bit older children. A lot of them are in activities, multiple activities. So they're running to volleyball and they're running to basketball, and that eats into the time that they have. Sometimes it's aging parents, whether parents are ill or they have to help care for parents, or go travel if their parents get sick, if they're not living in their vicinity. So there's a lot of responsibilities that women in our age group have on them, and that leaves sometimes like this much time for women. So I think time is a big one. And I also think for a lot of women coming into maybe their early 40s, like for me, most of my 30s, my early to mid 30s are a complete blur. I had my third baby in a 5-year time span when I was 30. So my youngest was born when I was 30 years old. So from the time he was born till about the time he was 5, I mean, I don't even know what was going on in my life right then. So much of our time and our effort is focused on caring for others. Like my primary responsibility was caring for my children. And then it was like my job. And that's about like all I could do, right? If I could sneak in a run, great. But I think then as we come into this, like the kids are getting a little bit older. Now I'm getting into my 40s. I have a little bit more independence. I can leave them at home, or maybe they're going off to school. Maybe their activities aren't as high intense. Like I finally got a little bit more time for myself. But I think women have to also like be okay with giving themselves permission to make themselves a priority. And I see that as a barrier and as an excuse sometimes too. Like I don't have time because I'm caring for my family, and that's great. But your family also wants you to be healthy, and you have to carve out some time for yourself to do that.